Okay, it's just turning 7 o'clock. It's Tuesday the 24th of March. So if you're just checking in with us, this is Meitheal Ceol, your daily sing-song, your one a day, your way of moving, helping to transform the negativity of physical distancing, which we're all exposed to, and increasingly so in Ireland from today, into, as you can see, to try and use the concept of an online sing-song where we're all going to sing together, folks, into a closer connection, build closer community, develop social capital, ag conus a kaint, a golú, there le gorgeous cadre of carhanach crack, bit of cooperation, collaboration, creativity and community. So we're delighted if you've joined us. We're just checking ourselves to see if the live stream is coming through.
Live, I think. No, that's not.
Are we?
I don't know.
So each night we just need to check that this broadcast is live streaming on Facebook.
24th.
So we always have a little bit of a delay at the start up here just to check. So we're live now, and I've checked that we have sound. So again, just need to check these things all the time. So again, we've completed our 1 week, our first week. Hope you like the picture of it. These are two ducks from a little lake somewhat beside us who, as I say, they were practicing their 2 meters apart.
Marion's Lake.
So hello from me, Liam O'Gogan.
And hello from me, Mary Cleary. You're all very welcome here this evening. I hope we'll all have a good time. We're going to try.
So we'll start off with a song anyway, just so you can see what we're trying to be about. And again, these we think are accessible songs. Are from 2 songbooks that we have that we're trying to disseminate and make sure people have access to them. And the important thing about this process is not so much that you see us or hear us really. It's really about, can it help you get involved in singing a few tunes, etc. So what we do is we just post you can see what we're going to be playing directly in front of you. And we'll tell you, so if you have an instrument, a guitar, a mandolin, a ukulele or whatever, they're the chords as we're going to be playing them. If we change pitch by using a capo, we'll tell you what we're going to do, and we'll explain that as we go along. So this is our warm-up. We don't get a chance, we've nothing to do, and then all of a sudden it's a rush every evening. It's a bit like going to having a job. I wouldn't want to anyway.
We forgot to get dressed this evening, so this is coming to you in the nude almost. Okay. Did we tell them the page?
Okay, so well, we'll tell you after. We'll just get into the first song first, then we'll go through everything just to see what. Now, if you like the song, join in. Explain.
You have to make it big for me because I have a difficulty.
So, again, just bear with us as I have to move the screen as we go through the verse. There's one fair county in Ireland with memories so glorious and grand, where nature has lavished its bounty in the orchard of Erin's green land. I love her cathedral and cities, once founded by Patrick so true, and it bears in the heart of its bosom the ashes of Brian Boru. It's my own Irish home, far across the foam. Cities near or far, should my heart is at home in old Ireland, in the county of Armagh. I've travelled 3 parts of the county, Newtown, Fort Kilcross, McGlen, around by the gap of Mount Norris, and home by Blackwater again. The girls are so fair and so hearty, none fairer than to cities near or far. Sure, my heart's at home in old Ireland, in the county of Armagh. Sure, my heart is at home in old Ireland, in the county of Armagh.
This is for all of you people up there in the north who might be listening in tonight. I know one would be Keith Paddy, Beefy Bar, Burton, actually. So you're all welcome here.
So that was the boys from the CountyArmagh. That brings back a memory of my friend, my mentor and friend, Michael Cunningham, who from outside Dundalk, Carrick Robin outside Dundalk. So that's where I would have first heard or experienced this song being sung in a house, and just brings me to mind of what this is about. So what you've come to a process called Meitheal Ceol. If I can just put up here a picture. Just give me a minute. I just get the photo albums here and just show you the photograph of what we're about. Yeah, if I can find my pictures here. So essentially, Meitheal Ceol is just an organic group of people who have got together, typically would have got together on a Wednesday night in a physical location. We gather in the men's shed in Sciobol Navarre, an Irish name for the old buyer, in Guidor in northwest Donegal. We get together every Wednesday, as you can see in our little flyer. And we sit around a table, 6 to 16 of us. Everybody throws a couple of euro on the table to pay for the tea and the coffee. And we just go through. We have 2 songbooks, which is what we're going to be singing our songs from. And between the songbooks, we have 500 or so songs. And we just, the way it operates, the process, everybody around the table nominates a song as we move around the room. And then we all sing it together. So it's basically not a performance-driven thing. It's about having fun. And you know, we've had, in the year and a half we've been doing this, we had such feedback of people saying this is great therapy. And in the times we're in, where we're physically distanced from each other and require all the more a soulful sustenance, what we're trying to do is to bring that interaction out into the public domain and to share this with you. So really what this is based on, as Mourinho said, it's not about me, and the only reason we're having a camera on here, normally you'd be looking at the screen with the music just to make, you know, show you that we're real people and just plodding away. That's what we're doing, but really we're hoping that you will enjoy singing in with the songs. Maybe they're songs you've heard a long time ago, hadn't had time to do it before, maybe you've forgotten the words, maybe you lacked in confidence to sing publicly or had to have a couple of drinks in you, or whatever it was. Now, in the period of time, I'm going to encourage everybody's here to set themselves a goal. You know, at the end of this period, however long it is, that you're going to be able to either play an instrument in some way. You know, when you listen to us play, you realise it's not Yehudi Menuhins you're listening to here, but you'll be able to sing, maybe play a song, and particularly it reaches out to people who are even more physically isolated than they traditionally would have been. People in nursing homes, in old folks' homes, people in care, whose people, relatives maybe can't visit them, etc.
And then, of course, relatives who are looking after their parents as well. So they're all isolated. So just to read you a couple of people who've called in already. John Coyle. Keith said, that last song was from my neck of the woods. Of course it is. Susan Willems. Hi, everybody from the San Francisco Bay Area. Ines Rodriguez. Hi, Susan. How are you doing?
So just to say, these women, Susan and Annette and Moses,
and others.
There
was a Mary.
Joined into this energy, I suppose, and initiative over the last week, and they so generously and kindly invited us to join an online session they were having in California at 1 o'clock Irish time in the middle of the night.
1 to 3 this morning we were.
And that was 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. And it was great fun, and we did it, and this has been done in Facebook Live, and of course it's one direction, it's us playing along, and then you can all play along in real time. Zoom offers something else, that you can curate different people onto the screen at different times. On the other hand, at 11 people last night there, I can't see it stretching. I find it hard to know how we could do it to a much bigger group. But anyway,
again,
we had a
one
great
moment
time,
here.
guys, and
we had a wonderful time last night.
it was great. People were explaining to us the elements of the Hawaiian language and singing along Hawaiian songs, and so the potential for this is I hope is wonderful. So what we're going to do, just to say to you, so we have songbooks, and people have been asking us where you get a copy of these songbooks. So obviously the songbooks were, if they're a physical songbook, and we had these printed for people, and people could have got those. But in the present era, we've moved past that in a way. I'm just again trying to get back to my just show you. There are the two songbooks. The first one is 365 songs, you're one a day. And the other one, which is a follow-up one, the ones that got away. There's about 500 songs between them.
I think it's important to say as well that the book is rather large. It's A4. The page is A4, is it? And the font, which is very important for me and maybe others who have issues with their sight, the font is 16 and very easy to read.
Yeah, so the books, the thing is, these books are also, there's PDF. So what you're seeing here, by the way, is I'm doing a live screen, a live stream where I'm screen capturing from an iPad. So as I scroll over and back across my iPad, you're seeing exactly what I do on the iPad. I am therefore playing the book in Adobe Acrobat, and I'm scrolling through that book interactively. So the book is an interactive PDF, and we're trying to spread these as widely as we can, get them out there to people so that people can practice and learn songs themselves. Each song, as we'll show you, has a link to a YouTube video where you can learn. So there's no cost or anything involved. The cost is really getting you involved. That's what this is about.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about how to do it a little later.
Before we go on, I'd like to say hello to Anya Newrourke. Anya is originally from Galway, as am I, and she is living in London, and she said, hello, can't sing. You will by the end of this, you will be singing, Anya, but loving this. John Fitzgerald, well done, lads, keep it flowing.
Okay, so we're moving along. We're going to move on to, just when I'm thinking of that song, My Heart Is at Home in Old Ireland, just before we came in, I was listening on air to a young guy out in Sydney, and it was really interesting. I have a son in Sydney at the moment. I spoke to him the other day, and he didn't seem to be too concerned about what was happening, but this young guy was pretty concerned of what's happened there in the last 2 days, and he was trying to get back home to Ireland. So it's interesting, we know that people are going back from the cities back to their home places. So there's a lot of sort of returning back to the roost for a lot of people, for lots of reasons, as the country closes down, as jobs are lost, etc. So for a lot of people, their heart is back in some place, and we would like to think that we're reaching out to anybody who's out there, that you're not alone. In fact, the wonderful thing from the feedback we had from people like Natalie in Germany last night, and the people over in the States, is that this is a worldwide issue, and it's a worldwide community that we can develop.
So the next song is Arthur McBride. So
just to explain what happens in the book. This book, I'm going to press the button here, index, and it goes back to the start, and all the books are laid out in alphabetical order, and you can just scroll through them. And as I'm scrolling through those, you'll probably see, like I do as I see them, there's Beautiful Sunday, Bitter Green, Back Home Again, Back Home in Derry, as I wrote it. There's so many beautiful songs here, and we're going to be doing this for a long period of time. We've chosen to do it at 7 o'clock in the evening, just after the main news in Ireland happens at 6 o'clock in the evening. That's when we start getting all the bad news of the day. And again today we just heard more news about the more closing down and more physical isolation and more physical separation. And we want to note this is not social distancing. There's nothing social about this. This is anti-social, but it's absolutely necessary. And it's physical distancing while strengthening social ties. That's what I like the message from this to be. Anyway, this is a lovely song. There's a young chap, Caelan O'Donnell, from up in north of here, up the coast, who used to sing along with us in Letterkenny, who does a beautiful job with this. But anyway, we'll do our best. We're not exactly Paul Brady's or whatever, but we'll enjoy what it is.
We want to say hello to Ro Mellish Johnson and her two dogs, Bandit and Mamie. So she lives in Derbyshire at the moment, but she is from Georgia in the USA.
And yes, again, Ro, I thank you for she sent a photograph of her dulcimer.
A mountain dulcimer.
Yeah, and what I'd love to be able to do is get these into this page. So I would say, I'd encourage, if you're sitting there, one, to send comments to the stream. Now, I can't see them on the screen for whatever reason. Haven't worked this out. They're not coming up on my screen. Mary seems to be able to read these on her phone as we're going along. But put them into the comment and talk to each other in the comment. One of the things you might send, Ray Atkinson commented on a Chris Christopherson song we're going to do later on. So if any of these songs bring up memories, please share them, and we can share the dialogue and reduce the level of isolation.
Before I forget as well, so Nancy and Annette can make contact with each other, because Nancy, who lives in Nashville, plays the ukulele as well, Annette. So I've asked her to make contact with you through this stream. Okay.
Yeah, so look at share information. So this article, again, we're paying this. I need to explain to people who I keep getting reminded. This book, this song is on page 38 of the first book if you happen to have a physical copy or you have a soft copy and you want to read from that. As you can see, I'm trying to make this as big on the screen as I can for Mary's sake because of eyesight issues she has. So at times we have to have a break while I'm moving this along. That's as good as it is. I haven't found an app, and if anybody can help me, which on an iPad can auto scroll a PDF document. So we got to work with what we got. So we're playing this open, no capo.
Okay.
Oh, me and my cousin, one Arthur McBride, as we went to walking down by the seaside. Now mark what followed. What did betide, for it being on Christmas morning? Out for recreation we went on a tramp, where we met Sergeant Yapper and Corporal Van, and a little drummer intending to camp for the day being pleasant and charming. Good morning, the sergeant cried, and the same to you, gentlemen, we did reply, intended no harm, and just to pass by, for it being on Christmas morning. But to see, my fine fellows, if you will enlist our 10 guineas in gold, I will slip in your fist, and the crown and the bar for the kick of the dust, and ring the king's health in the morning. For a soldier he leads a very fine life, and he always is blessed with a charming young wife, and he pays all his debts without sorrow or strife, and always live pleasant and charming. And a soldier he always is decent and clean, in the finest of clothing he's constantly seen, and all their poor fellows go dirty and mean, and sup on the brew in the morning. Much as Arthur, I wouldn't be proud of your clothes, for you're only the length of the mash, I suppose, and you dare not to change them for one night there, you know. If you do, you'll be flogged in the morning. And although that we are oh so single and free, sure we take great delight in our own company, and we have no desire of strange faces to see, although that your offers are charming. And we have no desire to take your advance, all hazards and dangers we part our own chance, for you'd have no scruples but to send us to France, where we would get shot without warning. Oh now, said the sergeant, I'll have no such chat, and neither will take it from Spalby or Grant, for if you insult me with one other word, I'll cut off your heads in the morning. And then Arthur and I, sure we both drew our odds, and we scarce gave them time for to draw their own blades, with the trusty chalet came over their heads, and made them take that as fair warning. And their old rusty rapiers they hung by the side, sure we flung them as far as we could in the side. Now take the devils, cried Arthur and we paid no respect to their two bloody backs, and we landed them there like a pair of wet sacks, and left them for dead in the morning. And so to conclude and to finish disputes, we obligingly asked if they wanted recruit, for we the lads would give them our clothes and bid them look sharp in the morning. Oh, me and me cousin one Arthur McBride, as we went a walking down by the seaside, now mark what followed, what dirty time, for it being on Christmas morning. Now this gives me a chance to explain something here. So that song we sang in what we call the open position on the guitar. So the guitar and the mandolin were just open. But I can tell from singing that song that for me that's a bit low.
A bit low for me too.
And therefore what we do, and the reason we produce the chords in this arrangement is so that, you know, we tried to pick the chords pitched at a fairly low area, so a very low pitch, so that we could raise the pitch of the song while keeping the chords the same to make things simple. So I'm just going to try a verse of that song with the capo put up in fret 2. The reason we didn't do that is because we know from our ukulele friends that a lot of people play the ukulele without using a capo. Now Mary, you might show them. Mary has a small, a short capo.
I was just looking at comments there.
A short capo for the ukulele. Sorry, specifically made capos for ukuleles, and a lot of people who are competent musicians can transform the chords themselves, or move from one key to another and change the chords. But we're trying to make this as simple as possible. But a lot of the time we will be moving them up, and I just want you to know why we're doing this. And just to say that it's really important in singing, I think, that you find a pitch and a key that you like singing in. Now, you may be listening to this video or this live stream in real time on 1924 on Tuesday, 24th of March 2020, Greenwich Mean Time. You could be in the States at the moment on the West Coast, you're 7 hours behind us, so you're around lunchtime in the States. Or you may be listening to this on a playback. And again, if you like what we're trying to do here, if you think this could bring a bit of solace and a bit of joy into people's lives and a bit of diversion, a bit of distraction, please do. I mean, we rely on you people to share this, and so share it now. Share the live stream if you can, because there's only 2 of us and we can only do so many things. And if you're a person out there who has the sort of skills that can help develop this concept, please help us do it, because we need all the help we can get. But we just played this up just to show you what this like. We played up. We played the verse there. I'll tell you what verse we'll play.
2, 3.
We'll say "Oh Now," says the sergeant. We'll do that one on 2, up on 2. So we're playing it in capo position 2.
2.
Oh, now, says the sergeant, I'll have no such chat, and I neither will take it from Spalding or Brett. For if you insult me with one other word, I'll cut off your head in the morning. And then Arthur and I, sure we soon drew our odds, and we scarce gave them time for to draw their own blade, when the trusty shillelagh beat them over their heads, and bade them take that as fair warning. So you see, it's much better. That was a lot more comfortable for us to be singing that. So, but again, look at the whole thing about this is, you know, we're all, whether we like it or not, we're all locked into isolated containers in the same ship. Whether the ship is sinking or not seems to be up to us.
So there's
staying
Thomas
in our
McGinley.
containers.
Thomas McGinley up the road. He's
How are you,
just saying,
Thomas?
hello, folks. Hello, Thomas. Sheila McMahon says she can't hear us. It must be on your side, Sheila, because other people can. I just listened in. We're live.
Yeah. So Sheila, just want to say I can listen back. Now, obviously, I have to keep the sound down.
Ruth Cleary, lovely to tune in again, guys. Sounds good.
So get your guitar out, Ruth, and start practicing.
Anne-Marie Turk McGinley, she's down looking after her parents at the moment, but she'll be back home shortly. She's going to tune in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So just to say a big shout out to Paddy Beefy Burton, who really innovative stuff. So Paddy, he posted a video he sent to me, and again I asked you, you don't seem to allow a share on it for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that's deliberate, but it'd be lovely to be able to have it shared and put into the Meitheal Ceol page. What Paddy's done today is he was practicing a mouth organ, and what he did is he played back the stuff from last night, and then he did a live stream of him accompanying that with his mouth organ. And last night, I think it was Ray Atkinson.
Yes, Ray, yeah.
What he did is he took the video that Paddy Beefy Burton yesterday did when he played a mandolin in on top of Spanson Hill from the day before, and Ray came in, and on top of that again he added a bar on. So look at this, is magic stuff.
So Susan Will, she's really impressed because when she presses on the song in the PDF index, it takes her right to the song. She's impressed.
Impressed
by that.
Oh yeah, look at this book has been a labour of love, and we have a template now. In fact, just good or bad news, we're working on the third book. The third book is called The Ones That Went Under the Radar. So first we had your song One a Day, like your vitamins, which we need a lot of. These are our soul vitamins. And then we had The Ones That Got Away, and now we're going to be working on one. So look at, and you know, these books have come from a collection of us hearing from songs and singing them with other people, and us introducing songs to other people.
Yes,
so
indeed.
This one
yes, indeed.
Helped me make it through the night.
Yeah, Annette says, yes, indeed, Nancy can join us. Just private message me.
Yeah, so what we would say is, again, what we'd suggest to people, if you like the Meitheal Ceol Facebook page, and on that page, at the top page, it said visit the group. So if you visit the group and join there, we can approve you. So the purpose of doing that is once you're inside the group in Facebook, we have uploaded those books as files, and we'd like you to download them and have them for yourself and do different things with them. I mean, it was designed by us as a labour of and what we would call an open source project. Not true open source, but it's that Creative Commons idea that we have.
Before we go on to the next song, I'd like to welcome Ray Byrne from the Cooley Men's Shed. He said, this is what he says: this session has become a not to be missed slot in a very abnormal daily routine. We in the Cooley Peninsula Men's Shed have been using the songbook for learning the guitar over the last 15 months. So welcome.
So hiya Ray, you're welcome. If you get a chance to kick the arse of Johnny Hannerty, it might be a metaphorical arse because you can't get your legs near him. You might tell him to join Zoom, as I've been chasing him to do it. But he did tell me today, Ray, that you were listening in. Delighted to have you. It reminds me a little bit, I think, back in, was it 2001 or wherever, the foot and mouth disease which attacked the Cooley Peninsula. So Cooley is on the east coast of Ireland, folks. I suppose now that we're talking, why don't we show where Cooley is here for our American friends and our German friends, and
they're all very interested to know exactly where people live who come here.
So as you say, we're on this side of the country, that little blue mark up here on the west coast of Donegal, and I love this little dog. When I turn the world sideways, I see this little dog here. Looks a bit like our little Yorkshire, maybe a bit of a, what is he? Looks like one of them Bow Wow dogs, the American types, or the English, the Scottish Terriers or whatever. But anyway, so the next place we want to go to is Cooley. So directly a line, and if you just zoom into a place here called Dundalk.
To show where Armagh is, first of all, where we just sang the
so
song
that song Armagh there, which would be the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland, so it's in that centre there. The boys of the County Armagh.
Keith Burton lives.
Now hold on, Mary. Just get with the program here. So we just want to, we want to get out to Cooley. So you see a place called Dundalk, and where Ireland. That's the Irish Sea, and that big bay that you see in the middle there is Dundalk Bay. Out past a place called Gisel's Quay. And between out that road there, the R175, that's where the Cooley Men's Shed is. So that peninsula is known as Cooley. And of course, one of our Celtic myths from there is called Thorn Bull Cooley, the Brown Bull of Cooley, a very famous Celtic myth. So again, there's wonderful opportunities. Just to say, last night we were invited by our friends to a Hawaiian ukulele jam, and we got to know lots of things about Hawaii, including, for example, that the Hawaiian language was repressed for a long time, and very similar experiences in Hawaii that have been in Ireland. Anyway, let's get on and look at this song. when Mary posts these songs, by the way, in advance, thanks to Joe Kane suggested we do this. We put up some songs in advance so people get a chance to look at them. But Ray Atkinson made a comment. I'm just trying to find it, if I can find it here, Ray. Where would I have seen this? Oh no, was it Joe? Sorry. Dear, hold on. Oh no, maybe it was Joe. Sorry, it was Joe who put that up. He said, looking forward to a session once again. Looking at the list reminds me of the summer 1972 when Chris and Rita Coolidge came to perform in Dublin the first time. She sat at a piano and sang for the first section of the show, and later, when his set was nearly over, she joined him on stage to perform the most moving version of Help Me Make It Through the Night, which we're going to have. We'll move you, all right? Move your bowels tonight, and that I've ever heard. Magical memory. And again, my reply to him was... my first memory of seeing Chris Christopherson was working as a bouncer in the Del West Open Air Amphitheatre in Philadelphia in 1978, and again Rita Coolidge performed with him, and since then we've seen him numbers of times since, the last being we saw him in Castlebar 2018, and I think it might have been 82 then, and look at the magic that came from this, total magic.
So Ray Atchison, yeah. Hi folks, good to be back with you. Nice wee rendition of lovely Paul Brady song. And Keith Burton wonders if people are able to see the video that he posted today. So where can they see that video?
Yeah, so now look, you need to tell us whether you're Keith, Paddy, Beefy, or I know you're Burton, but tell us, will you? I was going to call you by your initials, ETB, XYZ, but let us know that, otherwise we would. It's a mouthful to get in, but let us know, because it's brilliant stuff. And you're singing along with it was just really captivated. All we're trying to, the fun and joyousness of all of this. Anyway, let's have a go at this and see, because again I think it's a lovely song.
So Bernie Turk here, Bernie Ferry Turk, she says lovely.
Oh, I think we have a birthday coming up.
We have a birthday song coming up shortly. Okay.
So Bernie, we're all going to sing a song for Bernie in a while, a birthday song. So you'll have to get all the candles out, but you'll be the only one eating the cake, I presume. Anyway. Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft against my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong. I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. So Mary says, was that a bit low? And again, look, we have this.
We'll just do one verse.
We'll have this dilemma all the time about things, but it was done for a reason. People say, why did they put them chords that low? But it was done to enable people to switch up from, for example, lots of other people I would have met sing an octave higher than me, and or certainly they start up a number of semitones up, maybe 5 or 6 up. So sometimes when we sing together, we find that if they drop the pitch a couple of semitones and I go up a couple of semitones, we can meet in the middle without being too awkward. So I'm going to try this again. So again, this is probably a good experience, just because we're developing this. The other thing is, like, we're at this a week, but we expect that we'll be doing this for months. If we have, I mean, what we've set aside, our commitment to try and create that sense of routine and regularity, which all the mental health professionals are saying is very important in terms of adapting to the sort of mentally stressful situations we're in. So we're going to try and be here every night at 7. We really enjoy doing it. It pass, the hours fly for us.
And by the way, this time next week it'll be still bright because our clocks change.
That's right. So
this
we're looking forward to it, because
we may be able to go out in the motorhome and we can always live stream.
And we'll be able to see all those. What did I tell you? See, all our fans, just in case you think we don't have fans. Where are our fans? Where are our fans? There are our couple of fans. You see that?
That's my ass. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're not alone, as the fella says. There is alien life out there in the form of these asses.
We've also got sheep and lambs out here at the moment.
That's right. And we've a little dog in here as well. So, at the end of the day, we're hanging in. Now, where do I hang into here? So we're going to try this with 2 frets up. So basically, certainly we're not going to teach the experts musical theory, but if you don't know anything about it, you'll harm. So everything up, it moves up a full tone.
2.
So if you wanted to play this on a ukulele, guitar, or others, and you don't have a capo, if you just touch every chord that's there, push it up 1 letter. So make a G an A C becomes a D, an A minor becomes a B minor, a D7 becomes an E7, and you can just play along with us in the same pitch. All right, but I think we'll probably do the bottom end will be easier for us to carry along. Take the ribbon from your head, shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it soft against my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night.
I'm almost afraid to play the ukulele at the moment because of all those amazing players that we joined up with last night. Yeah?
Yeah, well, do you know, I mean, it's really fascinating what has emerged from this crisis. you know, the magnificence of the human spirit that can drum up all these creative things, just like Ray Atkinson and Paddy did, to layer in stuff on top of what we're doing. But for example, the most beautiful singer, Sean Keane, sister of
Dolores, brother of Dolores.
Brother of Dolores. Now, there's no reason he would be known as Dolores' brother. Sean Keane, in his own right, is a magnificent singer, and he has a Facebook page, and every day he's posting a video of him singing from somewhere he's recorded singing, and he sings just endlessly beautiful, beautiful songs. And there are lots of magic players. I mean, we just messers like compared to these people in terms of what they can do. And it's beautiful, and we're going to learn lots and lots of new songs from listening to these people over the next period of time. So it's a wonderful space. But this is something different. I mean, this is really about trying to emulate the feeling of what it would be like going to a party in the old days, where people would be singing, a couple of people singing in and out of tune, half remembering the words and all the rest, but having a bit of fun and a bit of joy. And that's what this is about. And this is about, so it's not, so it's about us trying to bring on screen the words, trying to encourage you to sing along, to, when you listen to that song, and it's so sad to be alone, help me make it through the night. So the reality of it is we are on our own. And whether that's in ones, in twos, or in small groups and families, you could be a grandparent who is in a position that you can't see your grandchildren. You could be a child who can't see the grandparents. Mm-hmm. You could be people. I noticed a man singing there a song for his father today, because his father's just gone into palliative care. And for the sake of his father's health, he probably is restricted from trying to visit him. I keep telling Mary, she goes off.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to look to see what you're all commenting. So
take them around this way here.
For instance,
low production values.
I still can't
Not
see
doesn't listen.
I can't see it. Yeah, he tells me that all the time. It really annoys me terribly.
This gives us great fucking.
So I do want to say hello to Natalie, because Natalie is now living in Derbyshire in England. No, she's not. She's not. That's not Natalie, is it? Oh yes, Natalie lives in the West Germany, and she says.
Did you say it was in the Rhine
there it is.
area?
Nordrhein-Westfalen.
Nordrhein-Westphalia, yeah. So I think that might be somewhere around the Dortmund area.
West of Germany.
I just know that's where a lot of motorhomes are sold, and a lot of motorhome dealers are there, So
she says strangers are friends we have not yet met. So that's what we consider you all out there. We consider you to be our friends. We will meet you at some point, obviously, because we're going to go on tour after this.
Well, again, Paddy Beefy Paddy Beefy Burfin was just saying to his motorhome friends when he was sending them information about this, that this book, and particularly the book, gives a great template for people to meet up, and suddenly, no matter what your language is, you're singing a few songs and you're making it happen. And it's wonderful. Our voices are free, we can still make noise, and practicing our waves is the air moving in and out of our lungs is probably the best thing that we can be doing for ourselves right now.
Sheila McMahon says it's great that you are able to enlarge the font so that they can read it somewhat better.
Yeah, so all the time we're experimenting with this. By the way, we really need and want the help of people who have a bit of, if you have time or energy, that can help us in terms of managing past information around this and making it available. The other thing is the previous ones. The great thing about the sets of previous songs, if you can go into them and have a look at what the songs are, and you can just play them and practice. So there's no excuse. If you ever wanted to play an instrument, this is your chance, because you can look at us and say, geez, if they can do it, anybody can.
Come on.
And that's what I'm saying about Mary.
John Fitzgerald says, hi Thomas McGinley, hope you're not missing the bowls too much. So you can tell about what that is, will you?
We'll talk about it. Anyway, Joe Kane was just saying that's a coincidence. He said that he was working as a steward in the National Stadium in Dublin in Ireland, up near Rialto, and he also saw the concert free, had one of the best views in the house. So when I was working in the Del West in Philadelphia, we had to wear these yellow t-shirts as bouncers, and it was me and a few other paddies doing
Stole them.
And as soon as the lights would go on, we'd take our shirts off and put on our t-shirts and go down into the crowd and listen to the gig and then go back to collect our money. Those were the days.
We're going to do Happy Birthday next for Bernie.
No, is it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, so just to say to you, what we'd love to do is, I mean, the other day we had the opportunity, and Facebook often gives you the chance of being able to know when people's birthdays are. So we have our birthday song is in the second book. So what I do is I'm in Adobe Acrobat. I'm doing all this from an iPad. You're looking at my iPad screen, and we just go down. We go into the second book and look for Happy Birthday to You. So you can tell us who we're doing this for, Mary. Yeah,
we're doing this for Bernie Ferry Turk. Okay. And she is the sister-in-law of Anne-Marie.
So
Turk.
there's a lot of Turks here in Donegal in Ireland. How do you become a Turk in Ireland and Donegal? But there's an Inish Turk, isn't there?
There's an Inish. No, they're not. They're not from Inish Turk. No, Inish Turk is an island off the coast of Galway, and there's one.
She didn't like that.
No, there's one off the coast of Mayo as well.
All
so
right.
there are many Inish.
But you know, when you're from the islands, I'm not from your island.
Yeah,
I'm from my own island. What island are your people from?
Inish Turbot.
Inish Turbot.
For Peggy, Peggy will know that.
When you get it
Peggy
wrong.
will know that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's also Keith Paddy Beefy Burton said, just call me Keith.
So look, you can wash
Call
your
me
hands.
Keith.
You can wash your hands 4 times, Keith. Starting with you, you can wash your hand 4 times to this one. Sing Happy Birthday 4 times. We sing it in 4 languages.
Bernie.
We sing it in English. We sing it as Gaeilge.
Thank you.
We sing it in auf Deutsch. And we sing it en français. And you might think that makes me literate in 4 languages. Okay? And I'm dyslexic in all. Okay? So, let's have a go with it. And the other thing is, look, practice this. Because if we're here long enough, every one of you will have a birthday. So please tell us in advance if it's your birthday. Tell us maybe a memory of the best birthday you ever had. Write down your aspirations or your wishes. What would you really like to have for this birthday? Because we ain't Santa.
Also, the other thing is you can choose a song and let us know what song you would like us to sing.
Please
for your
give us
birthday.
advice. I mean, we're happy to try. Look, this is good for us because we get
But
a
the
chance.
song has to be in the book.
Oh yeah, well it's obvious. I thought that was obvious.
Well,
Mary.
not necessarily, because
Okay.
people come up and say.
So have a look. Download the books. There's 500 songs there, and we'll play songs again and again and again. It's all good for us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bernie. Happy birthday to you. And this is now for our recent American friends who were introduced us to the Hawaiian language. And again, they were asking us how you say these things. So just listen to the phonetics and enjoy. Lobreha on the rich. Lobreha on the good. Lobreha Bernie. Lobreha on the good. Now I've Deutsch. So last night we had a friend who we'd met here.
Natalie, you can tell us if we're pronouncing this incorrectly.
Jürgen, he was with us last night, and we'd met him travelling around in his Frankie motorhome a couple of years ago with his wife. I can't remember your wife's name.
Would you please let us know, Jürgen? Yeah.
So it was, as it say in Drimna, it was Jürgen and his ma. He was there with his ma. We just don't know, but she was fucking massive.
Me and the mom. Yeah.
Anyway. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Zum Geburtstag, liebe Bernie. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. And now they're for all our French friends.
Olivier, if you're listening, you can tell us if we are pronouncing this correctly or not.
So our friends Olivier and
Elodie and the two boys.
We visited with them back in late August, September
yeah.
in
west of Brest.
And, as we say, west of Brest in Brittany. Gorgeous place. Lovely, lovely, lovely people. A young couple starting out their lives, and it's all ahead of you guys. Joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, Bernie. Joyous anniversary.
So Bernie, you're not too late if you want to choose a song and let us know.
So anyway, look at that. I say we really encourage you, if you have a birthday, please let us know. Or if you'd like to play it for somebody, perhaps you have someone else you know who maybe, well, we're all alone. That's the other thing, everybody.
We're going to do me and Bobby
but
McGee
do let
next.
us know.
We might do Peigin Leitrir Mor.
Oh, me and Bobby McGee.
Me and
Okay,
Bobby
so we're
McGee.
on another Chris Christopherson one tonight. So again, just to explain to you the way it works, you're looking at me on an iPad, zooming in and out of a PDF and playing it in dark mode. So it's very easy on Mary's eyes, for example. So it's very important.
Oh, naturally. So it's well done in German.
We have to tell us how that is. Let's get a bit of German. Let's write it in German so we'll try and pronounce it, because Mary's decided she's going to learn the guitar during this period.
Yes.
I'm going to try and pick out my mandolin again, and I'm going to try and have a bash at playing the piano, and just for fun. We don't owe anybody at this stage of our lives. We might as well enjoy it. Me and Bobby McGee. I suppose this is the song I remember from seeing Chris Christopherson in 1978. In Philadelphia. But you know what struck me that night when he sang it? Everybody in the crowd was saying, "Sing Bobby McGee," etc. And I was thinking, this poor fucker has to sing this song every night he performs. He's never get tired of it. And then you see a guy and you see what real professionalism is, as he was doing at 82 in 2018.
So Annette
when he sings this song, he delivers. Sorry,
Annette has just emailed us the happy birthday in Hawaiian.
Let me see it.
There you are. She's just had emailed words to Mary, okay?
All right.
In Hawaii.
We'll practice that. Oh, the words for the verse.
Happy birthday, yeah.
No, for the verse, yeah. So what we're going to do is do that. And actually, what we'll do, Annette, is we'll have a direct hook-up Zoom with you. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow sometime. And maybe you can sing it for us. And maybe we'll try and do something. We've got a couple of ideas and we'll be able to fold it into this. So can we do that? Because there's a lot of beautiful vowels in the Hawaiian language that I think are just gorgeous. Anyway.
Oh, yes. This is Anya New York.
You love the chaos here, don't you, guys?
I'm really enjoying this. Is it possible to request a Connemara Cradle song?
Oh, yeah, lovely.
If not tonight, some other time. Yes, we will be delighted to do it for you. Hello, Nolene, down the road, across the ditch there.
Yeah, I mean, it's gas. I mean, the problem is now we can't get together for our weekly sing-songs physically, but we can certainly not only get together online for sing-songs, but just remember, throughout the planet, there's lots of people who could be enjoying these same songs. So again, we're singing this song in open, so there's no capo being used on it, no capo. And so we're singing it, me and Bobby McGee again. Sorry for anybody again, I keep forgetting the pages. I'll just zoom in there. Page 243. So again, if you want to know anything about how you do anything with this stuff, or if you have any suggestions, please drop them into the comments, because we collect them, we look at them back afterwards and comment to each other. Preferably not about us. Do that in private.
Yeah.
Busted flat in Baton Rouge, heading for the train, feeling nearly faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed the diesel down just before it rained, took us all the way to New Orleans. I took my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft while Bobby sang the blues. With them windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hands, we finally sang of every song that driver knew. Freedom, just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was easy along when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee.
Change chord.
From the coal mines of Kentucky to the California sun, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Standing right beside me, Lord, everything I've done. Every night you kept me from the cold. Then somewhere near Salinas, Lord, I let her slip away. Looking for a home, I hope you find. I trade all of my that tomorrow's for a single yesterday. Holding Bobby's body close to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing left was all she left for me. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee.
Just one more.
Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing left was all she left for me. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. I'd love to be able to do the extra bit that what do you call it? Janis Joplin does when she goes off on a solo run at the end of that song. Absolutely gorgeous. Not it's very hard to beat Chris Christopherson's version of it, but Janis Joplin's absolutely fabulous as well. So we're going to sing you an Irish song now.
Are we going to
Last night we when we were on our had this ukulele Zoom gig with these. It was 11 people from just different people on the west coast of the States and ourselves, and they asked us to sing a couple of songs. So one of the songs we sang was a song called "O Roche de Vahawalya," which you do. We've done some of the nights and we do them again. But it's very interesting because again, like they had no concept of that Irish language, nor did we have of the Hawaiian language. And I was saying to myself, well, where would you be getting this and getting an insight into other people's lives?
Yeah,
I see there's about 1.4 million in
the song is Peigin Leitrir Mor, so it's really about Peggy. So Peggy, I hope you're listening this evening from Pittsburgh.
Right, so this song, we just show you again. So just going back, and now that we're doing a tour of Ireland for anybody who's from outside of here. And for any people in Ireland who maybe don't know our own country that well. So if we look at again our little dog, and we straighten him up here, just can we bend him around here? He's straighten him. He's lying on he's on his side now. So if we go over to the west of Ireland as we're moving into the west here, and there somewhere down you see the North Atlantic Ocean. You can see a place called Galway there, and
that's where Onion New Roar comes
somewhere
from.
Here we're going to have Leitrir Mor in here. It's going to light up here. Where is it?
It'll be down south Connemara. There's Carrow, so Leitrir Mor should be somewhere around there.
Never mind that. Why don't I just stick it in here? Leiti or Leitrir Mor, County Galway. Isn't it brilliant? Jesus, isn't it? Look at what it. So there you are. You could be in Leitrir Mor there, and you can just see some of the latest photos there. Well,
we were down there actually during the summer when we were doing the Wild Atlantic Way.
Yeah,
we
but I tell you what we do. We just go into. That's not what I wanted to see. There's the sort of beautiful place it is. We'll just see it. But yeah, so look at that's what it's like on a nice day down there. Gorgeous countryside. So this song, that's where it is. Leitrir Mor. I'll just zoom back out again. We can see. So it's nice when we're singing our songs. We can maybe have a look at where these relate to. So this one's called Peigin Leitrir Mor, and it's on page. Where is it, Mary?
Oh,
well,
sorry.
so if I want to find it, guys, you want to know it started with a P.
286.
It's on the first book. We just keep going down.
286.
I'll have to go down here because they're all interactive, as those of you who have this book online can see. I mean, it's very hard to beat the actual physical book because books have a great feel of it. So Mary says the page is on.
I said the page is on
286.
286.
Is that right, Jim?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
So again, sorry, just to explain, sometimes we don't know which capo position to put it on because it changes from day to day or whatever. And also, if we can, we'll try and keep many open positions so uke people can play along. But I would encourage you, if you can, get a capo, even a guitar capo, would give us a lot more flexibility. It's too low. I can't sing. I can't sing down that far. So sorry, guys. I think we're going to try it up on 3.
Hang on a minute. That's better. Yeah,
so
better.
Apologies if you a bit of a problem with this. I'm playing it up on the third fret position, okay, using those chords there, right? But anyway, sing along, or if you have a bower on or whatever, just give it a belt. So Gurrum, me and Gurrum, me must know. Me let Brala man and me, she Peigin Leitrir Mor. Iris is a Peigin at the chest of our honor. Forward up and fall on like his bed and when she learn. Oh Gurrum, me and Gurrum, me must know. Me let Brala man and me, she Peigin Leitrir Mor. Now, Tabrija comes, Gotcha gum, she Peigin Leitrir Mor. There be a yo is seen, and there a bed and town. Oh, Gurrum, me and Gurrum, me must know. Me a Grala man and me, she Peigin Leitrir Mor. Gurrum is Ceol a Pilkey, yeah, 90 bod more, she's Ceol a Kirsch. Dong again, he glad was shot. Oh, Gurrum, me, and Gurrum, me must know. Me the Grala man and me is Garga Mexi Mor. We scurry the gallion, the chopping near a core. It's Solis Galley Gill and the Beckadicious Shore. Oh, Gurrum, me, and Gurrum, me must know. Me the Grala man and me is Garga Mexi.
One more.
Hold on, I've got the pitch all wrong. I'm sorry for me, I think. And that's often the way it is. Now, to be fair, if we were just performing certain songs, we'd learn the
We'll
right
be practicing for the all day and all night.
By the time this is finished, we're going to know. I'm just going to see if we can find it open again.
No.
It's too high.
That's too high. No. Hang on.
No, we leave that at the moment.
We leave that?
Yeah. But if we could find the right pitch, it'd be nice to do.
It's a lovely song. So at the moment, Anya New York, she's actually learning Irish, Gaelic, in London using
Zoom, isn't it?
Zoom.
Yeah, because Moses was asking us, this chap who's obviously he's Hawaiian extraction. I'm not sure whether you were born Hawaii or people are, but you were asking me about learning the phonetics of the language, etc. So if anybody has any good ideas around that, how one might get a handle of some of the words and the meaning, not so much the word, but the pronunciation of them, etc. Perhaps you might look in the comments where Annette Rodriguez is there and maybe pass them on to Annette. I think it'd be quite useful. So, was there?
I'm just looking at see what's next. So the next one will be
The Reason I Left
Mullingar, page 390, book 1.
So book 1. So again, we just
we
go
will
up to
get
this.
around to the Connemara.
Again, just to say to you, look, we're at this a week and it's a learning process for us. But when we produce the book, as you can see, there's a page of the book. The constraints for the physical book are that you have to fit songs either onto one page, or if they flow over, then in a physical book, a song would always start on the left-hand side, so the second page would be on the right-hand side, and you wouldn't have to change a page mid-song. But once you try this business of zooming things in, you can see the problem is you're at this all the time. Mm-hmm. And it would be great if we had somebody here who could move this up and down, but the dog hasn't learned that trick yet. Mm-hmm. So where is he? Is he hiding?
Oh, he's hiding over there. We'll get him in a moment.
So this song we're going to sing is
the song is
The Reason I Left Mullingar.
Page 390.
So the Fury Brothers and Davy Arthur made a hit out of this a long, long time ago. But I know when I was in my early 20s, it was in the very early 80s that this song was made a hit anyway. And I was travelling in England for the Irish Railway at the time as part of the project to build the electric trains in Dublin, the electric rapid transit system, the DART system. And I was visiting works out in Acton in London. And I met a young man who was probably no older in age than myself, maybe 23, 24 years of age. And again, he told me how he had to leave Ireland, you know, what we call the arsehole of Ireland, looking for work. And he went to England. And when we talked, it was clear how lonely he was from home. And subsequently, I mean, later on in my life, I realised there were generations of Irish men and women who went to work on the buildings in England, built the built the airports and the airfields during the war and built the motorways in England from Ireland. Lived hard lives and worked hard and drank hard. And this song, I think, carries a lot of this. You know, people often left home dreaming that their fortune was somewhere else. So that's what the song brings back for me. We would love if people have memories of different songs as we sing them or play them, or you see them in the book or request them. Share them. Look at these shared stories. They make our days much shorter, and they make us realise we're not alone.
So Sheila played that last song. She played on the spoons. Okay.
I think we'll play this open. Okay. Again, let's hope we have the right pitch for that. I walk through the city a stranger in a land I can never call home. I curse the sad notion that called me in search of my fortune to roam. I'm weary of working hard, drinking on a week's wages left in the bar. And God, it's a shame for the use a friend's name, for to beg for the price of the jar. I remember a bright April morning when I left home to travel afar. But to walk till you're dead for a room and a bed, it's not the reason I left Mullingar. Oh, this London, the one city of heartbreak. On Friday there's friends by the score. I went to place finished on Monday. Sure, a friend's not a friend anymore. For the working day seems never ending. From a shovel and pick there's no break. And when you're not working you're spending out a fortune you left home for the maid. I remember the bright April morning when I left home to travel afar. For to work till you're dead for a room and a bed, not the reason I left Mullingar. And for every man here that finds fortune, comes home to tell of the tale, every morning the Broadway is crowded with many that thousand to fail. So young men of Ireland, take warning, in London you never will find at the goal at the end of the rainbow, for you might just have left it behind. I remember a bright April morning when I left home to travel afar. For to work till you're dead for a room and a bed, it's not the reason I left Mullingar. So again, for those of you who are, as the fellow says, not of this persuasion, you might wonder, why would anyone want to leave Mullingar? Well, I suppose internationally is in Mullingar where your man Niall Horan is from.
Yes, there you wouldn't, yeah.
He'd be a lot younger than us.
Well, that's where the brothers come from. What do you
and
call
of
us?
course,
Warbriggs, yeah.
Yeah, and of course.
And Joe, our Joe.
You know,
Joe Dolan.
keep them sweating, Joe. This goes out to our friend Patsy Rogers in Dundalk, a great man who organises so many tours and
Tributes
concerts and
Dolan.
tributes.
Yeah.
No, but to a community of interest in the northeast part of Ireland, where these people have been able to have great fun going on tour buses, etc. And that's all been plundered for you at the moment, Patsy. So our thoughts go out to you and your community of interest, and hopefully maybe some of these can line in with this. So that's where Mullingar is, in the centre of Ireland, and that's, I'd say, Joe Dolan, the famous Joe Dolan's from there as well, as is another Joe, isn't that right?
Joe Egan.
Our Joe Egan is from there.
Joe.
A man. There you are, Joe. Joe might listen to this stuff. Actually, to be fair, we want to give thanks to Joe Egan. Printed off a number of the early copies of the books before we got to the point of putting chords in them. Joe was very instrumental. He printed off 20 copies of books, which he used to bring round to various gatherings, and we'd share the books out, and then everybody get to pick a song. It was great fun.
It seems that Romellis Johnson, she was playing the spoons at the same time as Sheila was playing. So.
Well, do you know what it is? I think, now look at Paddy at something. You know what I'd love you to do? Paddy Beefy Keith Burton. Keith, all right, Keith. Do you know what you might do? The next time you make one of your videos, will you tell people what you're doing? I think what you're doing is that you're playing the stream on one device and that you're streaming back on the other device while you're playing along. So if you did that, and Ray Atkinson showed us what he was doing, and see the Bowron, it was lovely Bowron playing, and I was thinking, you know what might be very good, because I have a Bowron, I'd love to be able to batter at that as well. I haven't a clue how to do it. But maybe you could do a video of just showing some of the simple techniques, and I'd love to be able to play the spoons. I'd love to be able to play everything. I think I was meant to be a fucking octopus.
Yeah, so, yeah. I won't comment on that, okay?
No, why?
No comments.
I was going to tell them a joke. I
don't
have
no,
many
we won't
jokes.
Tell them the joke. No, we'll play instead.
I'll tell you the joke about the octopus in a while. I wouldn't be a great man for jokes, but I like this particular joke. Maybe, but it has to do with an octopus.
There's a lovely song.
Anyway, what are we doing?
A lovely song called "The Travelling People."
Oh yeah, okay. Well, actually,
page 422. We'll
sing this for all the motorhomers, right? Because we know Mary started playing her ukulele. I bought her ukulele a couple of years ago. And it sat there like most of us leave, most of our instruments sitting there. And then we happened to be in England, over in Lincoln, at a motorhome get-together, and we met a group of people there called Motorhome Fun. Lovely group of people. They invited us in. And they get together, put up a big tent, and they have a sing-song or whatever. And there was a guy there from Liverpool, I think it was. He was leading it.
No.
Lovely man.
Well, anyway.
But anyway, he really broke you into the idea of doing it, didn't he? That sounds very like...
They were somewhere that they weren't from Liverpool. They were over that way between Shropshire, I think. Maybe somewhere in Shropshire. Anyway.
They had a ukulele band, but he got you. And since then, Mary has never looked back. So she can't see what's coming behind her.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what
so this is a travelling for the travelling people. And I know so many people are itching to get out in their motorhome now that they're locked in the houses. And we have to understand, like, North Donegal is the most beautiful place for people to visit, and yet we saw comments on Facebook online where locals were, suspicious of people coming in motorhomes saying, I wonder do those people have the virus. So we're all living in times of great fear, high anxiety, and a large level of unknown, and we need to learn about this and be tolerant and understanding. So we have to realise if we went out in our motorhome and drove into another place, the people are saying, did they bring the virus with them? So a lot of us are going to be landlocked. But we just know about motorhomes. You can go out in your garden or out in your yard and sit in a motorhome and pretend you're on holidays.
So
maybe even listen to this.
So the travelling people is really about our indigent people who were here before the rest of us. They didn't actually live in houses. They lived in tents along the side of the road, and nowadays they've been rehoused, but they are very proud of their history. They worked at, you'll see it, the song.
Well, I mean, the thing is about travellers in the past had a function in society, because where there was a lot of part-time work going on, whether there was tilling fields or cutting the hay or pulling the potatoes or fixing tin cans, there were real travelling skills. And the nature of our society has changed, and that set of people who had their own culture, their own values, and they were respected within that. I mean, they didn't have necessarily the bad name that is associated with them, and that's the way it is, whether you like it or not. That's nothing to do with racism or anything else. That's how people feel. But that often happens in cultures like in the States, for example, with the Native Americans, when they're thrown onto their reservations and don't have a purpose. And you can see that one of the biggest issues in these places are early deaths, a lot of violence and a lot of alcohol. And it's the same for African males who don't have a purpose. They're no longer I'm out there out hunting, with their hands, etc. So as societies change, we need as a society to take into account how we help people transition. And by the way, we're all in the period of transition. In fact, it's like Kafka's metamorphosis. It's not first order change. This is fifth order change, guys.
Okay.
Sorry, we're doing this open, and the page just for everybody.
The page is blah 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 422.
422 on the first book, and it's open. I'm a freeborn man of the travelling people. Got no fixed abode, but nomads I ever wandered. Country lanes and byways were always my way. I never fancied being lumber. Oh, we knew the woods and the resting places, and the small birds sang when winter days were over. Then we packed our loads and beyond the road. Know the good old days, but they are over. There was open grounds where a man could linger for a week or two, for time was not our master. Then away you jog with your horse and dog. Nice and easy, no need to go faster. And sometimes you'd meet up with other travellers, hear the news or else what family information. At the country fairs we'd be meeting there, all the people of the travelling nation. I've met willow creels and the heather basins, and I've even done some begging and some hawking. And I've lain there spent, wrapped up in my tent, and I've listened to the old folks talking. Now I've known life hard, and I've known life easy, and I've cursed the life when winter days were dawning. And I've laughed and sung through the whole night long, seen summer sunrise in the morning. All you free-born men of the travelling people, every tinker, rolling stone, gypsy rover, winds of change are blowing, all ways are going. Your travelling days will soon be over again. Your travelling days will soon be over. All you free-born men of the travelling people, every tinker, rolling stone, and gypsy rover, winds of change are blowing, all ways are going. Your travelling days will soon be over.
That's lovely. I just love that song. Now we've got...
So we hope you're still with us. If you've just dropped in and joined us, if this is your first time, you're welcome. You're fallen into a live stream that happens every night at 7, starting at 7 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is Dublin or London time. And our purpose to do this is just to, I suppose, spread the love, have a bit of fun, but really this is about trying to encourage you wherever you are, alone or in small groups, or whether you're somebody who doesn't have visitors because they can't visit you. You might be secluded, and especially older people who again in England. And we were singing. Oh, the song we were singing just before then was The Reason I Left Mullingar, and he talked about London, and it just struck me. You know, I feel reach out to Londoners tonight, because you're in lockdown. As you know, we're probably going to be in with some version of a lockdown, but our leaders tell us this is not a lockdown, but it's going to get there. For us, you know, this has to get tighter before it gets looser. It has to get worse before it gets better. We have to go through winter before we get a spring.
So Anya New Rourke says, I remember listening to the Johnsons sing that song on the radio.
Funny enough, Anya, I was trying to think of where we would have heard that song originally, and that's the name that came up when we started the song, the Johnsons. And who I think Paul Brady might have sung at some stage with the Johnsons, didn't he?
He did.
And in fact, if you know of who, I think there's a couple of
Actually,
women.
I remember Paul Brady singing that in a bar in the West End in Bundoran.
I would think you were going to say the West End in London.
West End.
Imagine there's a West End in Bundoran.
I think it's the West End in Bundoran. It was an after hours joint. That's from long ago now.
So them were the days when you could be going out. Now there's no going out to
Yarmouth
pubs or
Town
whatever.
is the next song we're going to sing. Page 448, book 1.
So again, we hope that you're getting the hang of this. I say, just again to remind you, we're singing out of a set of 2 song books that we encourage you to say, click on the Meitheal Ceol and visit the group, sign on to the group, and then you access the files there. Sorry, this is the only certain way I know of distributing the files in the PDF format that will work for you right now. So we're not deliberately doing this a complicated thing. I found out how to put the PDFs up into the group. So just go through the process, Meitheal Ceol, click on view the group, join the group, we'll approve it, and then take them down and enjoy these songs.
So Sheila McMahon, she played that on the guitar. Sheila, you are so versatile with your spoons and your, what else does she play? Mandolins and banjos and banjolinos and guitaleles.
And I think I've great news. I was talking to Yvonne today, and she was telling me that you guys have tried out a Zoom ukulele jam last night, I think, and you know, we're exploring some different ways of using Zoom to what Zoom would allow people to do. Just to explain to you, is that it's a bit like Skype, a video conferencing thing, and certainly with Ed and their people in Hawaii last night, they were able to pass over the screen effectively to different groups who would lead it, and at the same time the idea is to try and put the sheets up on the screen, etc. So it's a bit of organisation around it. But we just hope you enjoy what we're doing, and that you can read all this, and that you're encouraged to sing along. And please, if you have an instrument anyway, we're talking to a fellow the other, and he says, "Oh, I'm going to get up into the attic and dig out that." This is the time. You know, in that last song we sang to talk about, you know, we hung around when time was not our master. Well, I'll tell you now, time is now your master, even if you've loads of it.
And we have,
it's
and
not
we're
interesting.
still our master, yeah.
No, but more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, people who feel themselves under pressure running from Billy to Jack, in the next while, you'll be fucking looking at the paint dry that you never even put in the wall, and you'll be looking at that kettle boil, and you're saying, "Jeez, will it ever? Hurry up there."
Well,
so
we have to get through a few more songs. And
Mary's put me under pressure here.
Yeah, he put me under pressure earlier when he was.
So I often have to play this to try and see where the song is pitched. I think I have it right now. So this is open, and it's Mary's going to tell you the page number.
The page, God, I'm getting very forgetful here. Page, I did tell them the page before. 448, book 1.
448, book 1.
Where are you listening?
In Yarmouth
Town there lived a man.
He had a little tavern down by the strand. The landlord had a daughter fair, pretty little thing with a golden hair. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town again? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? At night there came a sailor man. Sure, he taxed the daughter for her hand. Why should I marry you, she said. Got all I want without being wed. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? But if you do want to linger finger. Sure, I'll tie a piece of string around my finger. As you pass by, you can pull on the string. I'll come down and let you in. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? At closing time, the sailor man, sure he's gone to the tavern down by the strand. As he's passed by, sure he pulled on the string. She's come down and she let her jack in. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Now he's never seen such a sight before, 'cause the string around her finger is all she wore. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Well, the sailor stayed the whole night through, and early in the morning went back to his crew. Where he told them about the maiden fair, pretty little thing with the golden hair. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Oh, the news it soon went around, and the very next night in Yarmouth Town, before the sailors pulling on the string, she's come down and she let them all in. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? So all young men at the Yarmouth go, if you see a pretty maid with her hair hanging low, all you got to do is pull on her string. She'll come down and she let her jack in. Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth Town?
Okay.
So for me, that song brings back probably 1972 in the town hall in Dundalk, and me all of 16 years of age with hair that flowed like Charlie George of Arsenal down on me shoulder. I used to take lengths of it out in the school, and I'd lay it out in the desk, and I'd calibrate me 12-inch ruler by the length of my hair. By Jesus, that was before the cesium clock came in.
Sheila McMahon says that was one of the first songs she ever learned.
Oh, very
well
good.
done, well done.
I keep thinking of that song, Sheila. I call it the Won't You Come Down song. Won't you come down, won't you come... But it was a wonderful time to be alive.
What about Yellow is...
And so we have to try and hold that in our minds. It is always a wonderful time. And really, whatever's happening right now, the question is that as we are more physically segregated, not just separated, but segregated, that we have the opportunity of building a community of interest and a bit of crack. So this is all about, hope you're singing your songs, and again you can listen back to this afterwards and practice the songs.
So we can do, there are 3 songs we've got. Yellow is the colour, Love's Been Good to Me, and the one we might get around to singing for Anya is the Connemara Cradle song.
Oh, we do the Connemara Cradle song.
We do the Connemara
We have a go at it, right? So this again, in Irish they call it a Soon-Three or a lullaby. And you know, as we were doing our songs, one of the things we'd like to do is there's some beautiful, beautiful lullabies. No, I would know some of them in English and some of them in Irish, and I'm sure there must be lovely lullabies in now Hawaiian. Now that we've hooked up with you, I'm sure. Look, when I hear you guys singing last night, I'm sure there must be beautiful ones. And I'm thinking that it would be very good project to get involved in putting together a book. So it must be Connemara rather than De Connemara.
Yeah, Connemara.
But to get a book, a songbook of Soon-Three or lullabies, because what we have is we've developed a template for producing this. A lot of work gone into this. A lot of little hidden features. Like for example, if you just look at that there, I'll blow in here just so you see the way that W in Wings almost touches the italicized, bolded right-hand bracket. And there was a lot of individual kerning on words to try and do this. There are 25,500 chords in this.
So again, just this is important. Anya says, Paul Brady was in the Johnsons at one point. Thanks for the shout out for London, and also all of those builders who had no choice but to immigrate physically in England, but their heart and soul in the 4 provinces of Ireland. Okay, 4 corners of Ireland.
Anyway, you know where the reality is, we are one global village now into which an intruder has arrived, and it's going from house to house, trying to get in our doors, and our job is to try and use the social cohesion that we're creating to give each other the personal strength to keep physically separated. I mean, it's a real pity that whatever clown thought up the name social distancing must have got a PhD in being a fucking wanker to have thought about something like that.
We don't use that kind of language around here.
No, when you're in the vernacular, you got to say it the way it is. But I mean, I'm listening to them; they're beginning to change their language. It's physical distances, and I keep saying to people, imagine you reframe the idea of your personal. Hey, you're in my personal space, and say to yourself, if there's someone within 2 meters of you, they're in your personal space. Think about that.
Well, we were out walking the other day and we met a guy that we know, and you know, at one point he and Lee were getting a bit close, and I said, no, too near, get away, move apart. Anyway.
And we had walking sticks, so we actually touched each other at the end of each other's walking sticks. That's a good distance.
Yeah, we met 2 people actually, and we did the same thing. But so, the Connemara Cradle song was, it's a lullaby, a beautiful lullaby, and it was sung by the women of Connemara to their children, whilst their husbands were out in the curraghs fishing.
So just again, in case you don't, to be fair, what's Connemara? So Connemara is this part of Ireland. There's the dog again. So this part of Ireland we're zooming into here is that whole area there you're looking at is Connemara.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Beautiful, beautiful countryside. If you want to get lost. Now the other thing is, by the way, as a result of what's happening on the internet and everything else, we're all getting a chance to see each other's worlds. So at the back end of this, there is a space, and hopefully we'll meet. And as the fellow, as Rumi says, beyond all this, there is a field, and we shall meet there. The other things I've seen about the book of songs for, wouldn't it be lovely? And if anybody's interested in pulling together a set of suantry or what do you call them?
Lullabies.
Lullabies for babies, because it's the babies that are going to be born through all of this that are going to rebuild the society. That's what it's about. I mean, that's the replenishment of youth and nature. So that's what it's about. So we should look after them as they come into the world.
Love and Happiness is another beautiful lullaby as well.
Yeah.
So, okay.
On the wings of the wind. Sorry, what's up, Mary?
That's a bit low. So we have to go a little bit higher.
I don't know.
On the wings of the wind.
You happy now?
No, I don't think much.
This is great. We have such fun trying to get
to get it
the
right.
thing is, I did look at all the takes all these guys had to do in the studio before we get it. It doesn't cost us anything to get it wrong. Anyway,
okay, let's go.
This
again.
is open, folks. All right, it's chords as you see them. On the wings of the wind, o'er the dark rolling deep. Angels are coming to watch o'er thy sleep. Angels are coming to watch over thee. So list to the wind coming over the sea. Hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. Oh, the winds of the night, may your fury be crossed. May no one who's dear to our island be lost. Gently calm me the foam, shine the light brightly and guide them back home. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. Are sailing, we are blue, laden with herring of silvery hue. Silver the herring and silver the sea. Soon there'll be silver for my love and me. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. The currachs tomorrow will stand on the shore. Daddy goes sailing, no, never no more. Nets will be drying, the oars put away. Daddy is home, babe, and home he will stay. So, hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. So there's a couple things we were doing, thinking that somebody pointed out to me that in this model of communication that we're doing, where we're singing here, and it's been broadcast out, and hopefully you can see the words and hear singing to give you a rhythm and the beat and whatever a pitch to sing along with, and hopefully be encouraged to sing along with. But the other thing is, like, if you're someone who'd like to try out bits of harmonies, you can try them out on your own. And someone said you're not interfering with anybody else. Like, if you're in a choir and you try to do a harmony that goes wrong and everybody's looking at you crossways, that's not the way things are.
Now we're going to book 2, and it's page 111.
Now, before I just want to read the last verse of this.
Yeah, okay.
The currachs tomorrow will stand on the shore, and Daddy goes sailing, no, never, no more. The nets will be drying, the oars put away, and Daddy is home, babe, and home he will stay. And that's where we're at now in society. I mean, the system is closing down. Businesses are closing, certainly in England, and it's going to happen in Ireland. And again, in Ireland, all non-essential stuff has been closed down to allow us to physically segregate. So it's really, the metaphor is there. And Daddy goes sailing, Daddy's not going to work anymore, and many mothers. And you know, when I look at all the young parents who have to get up so early in the morning, go into, spend hours in traffic up and down, put the kids into crashes and all the rest, like, there's also an opportunity for all you guys to be together at home in a place, and Daddy is home, babe, and home he will stay. So at this point in time, for however long it is, rather than see this as an enforced incarceration, and there's lots of negatives about it, there's a real opportunity. I saw some news program last night where a mother was in a house and she'd basically turned the house into a little school, and they were practicing, learning and doing all the school things. Great opportunity for parents, fathers and mothers, who maybe, because of the pressures of double jobs and high mortgages and never get a chance to see their kids until it's Saturday, and then they're knackered. That's right. So look, there's time, and maybe we need to relook at time again in new ways, you know. So
Love's Been Good to Me is the song on page 111, book 2. Okay.
So book 2, Love's Been Good to Me. Love's Been Good to Me. Hold on.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice.
Oh dear. So book 2. So again, yes. What I do is I just go back into my iPad and open up the separate book. So again, please do go to the trouble of downloading these songs and learn them, practice them yourself, for your friends or whatever. Have your own little watch parties or play parties or whatever. If you think that you enjoy this, please spread the word to people. You know, as time goes on and we get deeper into the abyss and we reframe everything we mean about communication, let's hope that this can be there to nurture our chicken soup for the souls.
Chicken soup for the soul is what I call it, yeah.
111, sorry, Love's Been Good. So again, just to say, we put all these songs together, and you know, so many of them we haven't either done or haven't done for a long time, so it gives us an opportunity. So keep telling, suggesting to us. Again, just to tell you, just because of the layout of the thing, when I zoom in too far, the problem is you can't see some of the words on the right hand side. So we're trying to find a happy medium, I said, for Mary there.
So what else? Let us know if you're still out there. If there's anybody with us, let us know.
Like 100 highways.
That's right.
So I think we can
do that.
this. We can probably do this in the key that it's in a key that's in. So we're playing this open. Again, the page is book 2, page 111. I've been a rover. I have walked alone. Like 100 highways, never found a road. Still and all I'm happy. The reason is, you see, once in a while along the way, love's been good to me. There was a girl in Denver before the summer storm. Oh, her eyes were tender, oh, her arms were warm. She could smile away the thunder, kiss away the rain. Even though she's gone away, you won't hear me complain. There was a girl in Portland before the winter chill. We used to go a-courting along October Hill. She could laugh away the dark clouds, cry away the snow. Seemed like only yesterday, down the road we go. I have been a rover, I've walked alone. Like 100 highways, never found a road. Still and all I'm happy. The reason is, you see, once in a while along the way, love's been good to me. There was a girl in Houston out where the hard winds blow. Why I had to leave her, God Almighty knows. And she could take the long hot summer, cool it with a sigh. Words have no more wisdom when it's time to say goodbye. Words have no more wisdom when it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, and you're still there?
Isn't that a gorgeous song, folks?
It is.
So what about
We'll have a nice, happy song if we can think of one.
Well, can I suggest a song? I was
Sure.
just thinking of this song.
Sure.
Just
You
go,
may.
Go into the fridge a minute and bring in that thing, will you please?
What thing?
The thing on the fridge that was sent today.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I just wanted to...
Oh, I have
the
to,
post-
have to get up.
The post arrived this morning here, and we're not getting much post nowadays, and sort of you'd be wondering whether you should be handling the post even. God, even our understanding of what you touch and what you can't touch and all the rest. Or do you touch the outside of the envelope and what's on the inside of the envelope, and how long has the envelope been since the person who wrote it, etc. But the letter was sent to me, and it was in capital writing, not joined up writing. And I didn't. It was in handwriting. It's a lot of letters. We don't tend to see handwritten envelopes, etc. anymore. And I had no idea who it came from. And if you're listening,
Did you say what the address was?
Oh, yeah,
It was only Guidor.
Oh
That's
yeah,
all.
Liam O'Gogan, Guidor, Ireland or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
We're
But
fam-
that was
We're famous.
so you can.
Back to front, but
Hey, listen. Hey, if you're
Chinese,
dyslexic like me,
we have one Chinese person, so they.
hold on, no, never mind that. Look at what it says anyway. See if you can work this out. This was always in the letter. There's nothing at the back of it. It doesn't say anything at the back. So whoever sent me this, I don't know where it came from, why it came from, but I receive it in the spirit in which it was sent. So it's a prayer, and it says, "Oh Holy Spirit, please help me."
And guide me.
Please help me and guide me. Say this 3 times plus every day. And you know, it it does come into a world which is so materialistic and it's post-religious and all of the rest. And as my late father had said to me, all I know is I look up in the sky, he says, and I know it's a lot bigger than me. And I've looked up to a much bigger sky because there's a magic sky up here in West Donegal, a beautiful, untarnished, unblemished sky. And I can say the same, I don't know either. But and the other thing is I'm aware of Niels Bohr, the discoverer of the atom or whatever back in early 1900s, a Danish guy. And I've read about him is that he had a horseshoe hung over the entrance to his laboratory, which sort of is very unscientific. And he was asked, why do you have the horseshoe there? And he said, sir, it doesn't do you any harm.
That's right.
So anyway, whatever your spirit is, I'm hoping that the spirit is moving within all of us, whatever that spirit is, whatever, as the Desiderata says, whatever you conceive him to be, let's be with it.
So Roy Atchison said that was a lovely
Sorry, the
little
song, I was hoping, I forgot.
That was a lovely little song, Ray said.
What was the song? Your man sings, I can't remember the name.
A happy song.
No, My Forever Friend.
Oh yeah, My Forever Friend. Charlie Lansbury.
Charlie Lansbury. So Charlie and me have very little in common, as you'll see. What is it called?
My Forever Friend.
My K-L-M.
I think it could be in 2, is it? My Forever Friend. Book 1, I think.
Hold on. It's probably in book. Oh no, it's in book 1. Yeah,
book
sorry.
1.
So guys, I just have to keep moving. The great thing about the index, you can see how rapidly it moves around. Imagine just if it took a long time to organise this index. By the way, it wasn't just as simple as just putting it on an A to Z, because we had to be mindful of. Mindful of certain songs had to shift to allow them to start on
they are
the
the
left
very
hand.
last one there.
My Forever Friend.
Yeah.
So as you can see, me and Charlie, he has the long hair. He has enough hair to do for all of us. He sings this beautifully. It's just a gorgeous song. Oh, Jesus.
Liam just keeps forgetting to put his hair on, that's all. It's a bit windy these days.
Me and Donald Trump. Imagine if I had Donald Trump's heading him like Donald Trump. Imagine if I cared about it. And I think we might do this open tour. We'll see.
We'll see.
We certainly know after about a couple of weeks. But by the time we go on tour, we'll be ready to go on tour when all this is over.
Carnegie Hall, here we come. Grand Ole Opry.
Everybody needs a little help sometime. Sorry, but for those who are looking, I'll be killed if someone don't tell them what page is on. It's page 252 of the first book. Sorry about that if we have to go again. But sure, haven't we got lots of time?
We're going to see the news at 9.
The news isn't on yet. We'll let you go for the news, the bad news. Anyway.
Everybody needs a little help sometime. No one stands alone.
Makes no difference if you're just a child like me, or a king upon a throne. For there are no exceptions. We all stand in the line. Everybody needs a friend. Let me tell you of mine. He's my forever friend, my leave me never friend. Darkest night to rainbow's end. He's my forever friend. Even when I turn away, he cares for me. His love no one can shake. Even as I walk away, he's by my side. With every breath I take. And sometimes I forget him. My halo fails to shine. Sometimes I'm not his friend, darkest night, the rainbow's end. He's my forever friend.
Change key.
If you still don't know the one I'm talking of, I think it's time you knew. Long ago and far away upon the cross, my friend died for you. So if you'd like to meet him and don't know what to do, ask my friend into your life, and he'll be your friend too. He's my forever friend, my lead me never friend, from darkest night to rainbow's end. He's my forever friend. So on that note, I just think that's a beautiful
Gorgeous song,
and
gorgeous song.
when I'm thinking of that, I'm mindful of all the cynicism that rational reality brings us to about everything. And when I saw that little thing that came to me today, I don't know who sent it.
I wonder if it's a
No
marriage
name.
No, we don't know.
Look, will you just leave? If you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
come forward, normally I'd be looking for the lottery numbers. There's the lottery numbers for next week, upside down and back to front.
You have to say it 3 times, though.
But
Yeah.
no, but the spirit in which it was sent,
Mm-hmm.
I accept it totally in the spirit in which it was sent, and admire the simplicity of the message. Because, I say, when my father said, I just look up in the sky and realise a lot bigger than me. This is all much bigger than me. And, in Scott Peck's book, The Road Less Travelled, he talks about one of the first sort of elements of, making it is to give yourself up to something that's bigger than you. Not just realise that we don't control anything that's going on. So all we can do is sit here in West Donegal. We're enjoying playing a few songs. We can't. I'm a retired lecturer and engineer. Mary's a retired nurse. We can't save the rest of the whales. There's nothing we can do. We can just do this. But we'd love to think that you will join us on the journey to the light, whatever that light's coming from. As the fellow says, the problem with the light at the end of the tunnel, it might be another train coming.
So
But
here's a
anyway.
beautiful comment here from Maria Fordham. She's obviously been listening in tonight. Super to be tuning in to music from Donegal again tonight. You're a lovely chatty couple, very relaxing. Such a moving song to end on. Many thanks to you both. Maria, thank you.
Yeah, so again, what do we need to help us do what we're doing? I mean, we need help to help spread the information, spread the message, spread the book, because if what this spawns in or supports or follows or whatever it is, in any way, the idea that people might either sing to at home or sing to each other, or maybe sing to your loved ones far away, and have a go, and don't be afraid about, I say, with us singing too high or too low or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bit like cooking. I think you can either overcook it, undercook it, or get it right.
I bake beautiful brown bread, but it's not always
We're
the
going to
same.
make a video of that.
We are going to make a video of it, but
Share
there's a
them,
number of
share
people
them.
now. You see, people are starting to make their own
There's
bread.
no flour in the shops. Is that right,
Yeah, well,
Mary?
there's a shortage of flour in the shops. But what I want to say here, without being interrupted, is that some days it's completely different than it was the day before, and I can't understand why. Maybe it's
What,
my
the bread
maybe
or
the
our
bread.
voices?
Maybe it's my mood.
Yeah, imagine being able to buy. That's really called mass customization. You can tell the weather by Mary's bread on a particular day. Hey, look, it's great stuff.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
say, it's really, really beautiful stuff. And I said to Mary, we have to make some bread and leave it down to our local doctor. And just a big shout out. What I just want to say is, everybody in the medical profession, whether you be nurses, whether you be support staff, whether you're porters, whether you're paramedics, whether you're making food to keep everybody going, or whether you're top surgeons or analysts and all of that, we are our lives and our future, and the future of all of us, not just me and Mary and the rest, but whoever, all of us, and the future of our economy and our society is in your hands. And so we mulla me too, mora me too, ira me too. That's a prayer. It's probably a bit over the top, but anyway, it sounds good. Mulla me too, mora me too, ira me too. One of the Irish language prayers in church. Come back to me there from the long distance. But we're going to sing one other song before we go. Yellow is the colour.
Well,
and then we leave
that was on the list. I don't know if anybody's here still. Somebody said
we've got literally 4 minutes.
Somebody said that was a lovely song to end on. Right. But anyway.
Okay, we're doing a quick one because we got to be out of here. Yellow is the colour.
451 book 1.
451 book 1.
And the other thing is, don't forget to let us know about your song choices. If there's anything you want us to do, we mightn't do it on that day, but we will keep it in mind and do it the following day. Okay. We saw this guy Donovan recently, in the last year or so.
Yellow is the colour of my true love's hair. In the morning, open when we rise. No capo. In the morning, when we rise. That's the time. That's the time I love the best. The colour of the sky. The morning when we rise. In the morning when we rise. That's the time. That's the time I love the best. Green is the colour of the spark. The last verse, we all come together as we say goodbye for this one. Come together and say goodbye. Good night, Hawaii's Cully Snow. Freedom is the word I rarely use without thinking. Without thinking. All the time. All the time.
Sleep well.
Slán agus Cully